Hello, everybody. Welcome to this part 2 of the 20% of English grammar that you need to master. I did a video on Monday, a live lesson on Monday, but it was just too big. I had prepared too much stuff for one lesson, so I decided to stop halfway through and do a part 2 to finish everything I wanted to talk about on Monday. So this is part 2, and just know that I will delete this video and Monday's video in 2 days' time. Okay, on Tuesday I will delete both videos from YouTube. So make sure you watch them before that day. Okay, so come and say hello in your language. Yeah, you can say hello in English or you can say hello in your language. I love seeing different languages. I love all the different countries that we have people from watching these live lessons. So come and say hello. We already have a couple of my current students here. We have Dirta from Germany and Sonia from Switzerland. You know what? Could you please, when you put your hello in your language, could you put in brackets your country? That would be fantastic. That would be even better. Okay, I know that. Hey up, Nicholas from Yorkshire, like me, and Jean from Spain, from France. Salut, Jean. Okay, keep them coming. While you do, let me just show you what we did on Monday, in Monday's lesson, because we went through my brilliant B2 course, which has 12 modules. So the 20% of English grammar that you need to master is inside the course. What we did then on Monday, we had a look at modal verbs of probability. Let me just mute this. Yeah, modal verbs of probability. We did modal verbs of probability refers to things like must, may, might, and could. Modal verbs like that, both in the past and in the present. We also looked at the difference between the past simple and the present perfect, like I ate or I have eaten. The second conditional was another essential bit of grammar that we discussed in Monday's lesson. Like if I had lots of money, I would buy a boat. We use this to talk about hypothetical situations, hopes, dreams, wishes. Passive voice, yeah, the passive voice. Instead of, for example, the letter, the man delivered the letter, the passive voice is the letter was delivered. That's a really, really important grammar structure in English. Relative clauses, they are words like who, which, that, whose, when, where. Okay, very important to link parts of the sentence together so you don't have to speak in lots and lots of tiny sentences. And reported speech, so we can actually explain what other people have said to us. Okay, I think we also did one extra. I was going to do half on Monday, half today. We actually did module 7, the grammar from module 7, which was the past perfect tenses, like I had gone or I had been going. Okay, so they are the main topics that we looked at in the lesson on Monday. Let me get rid of that. and get rid of, well, let me just show you what we're doing next. Today, now, is this grammar from module 8. We'll start with quantifiers. Okay. Cool. So as you can see here, this is inside the Brilliant B2 course. We have the video, we have the exercises as well. There's always a pronunciation lesson inside the each module. Here we look at the linking w and y sound. Practice vocabulary, a story based on a topic of the B2 category, listening exercise, many more exercises to practice your grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. Okay. Anyway, that's a brief look at what we did on Monday. Let's have a look now then at quantifiers. Okay. Before we start, let me just have a look and pull some comments on screen from India, from South Korea, Portugal. Hola. Romans, very good, thank you. Okay. Valencia, buenos días. Cool. Привет. I think from Russia. Cool. All right then, and Egypt. Marhaba. Awesome. All right then, let's have a look at quantifiers. So basically, when we talk about quantifiers, we are talking about words like, not only these ones, but words like many, much, few, and little. So some, plenty, a large number, a small amount. Okay, words that help us explain the quantity of something. That is why they are called quantifiers, because we describe the quantity of something. It's a really, really useful aspect of grammar, because when you're talking about everyday topics, you're going to be talking about the quantity a lot. So let me just focus on these few in this lesson. In the Brilliant B2 course, we have all the quantifiers. It's much more in depth, but the basic rules for these ones and the common mistakes that people normally make with these ones are that we use much, and little to talk about uncountable nouns. When I say uncountable nouns, I'm talking about nouns, about things that we can't count. Time, for example, the word time, bad example, but time is an uncountable noun, but also an uncountable noun. Let's use money instead. Money is not possible to say one money, two monies, three monies. That's not possible. So it's uncountable. The same with rice. Okay, we can't say one rice, two rices. We have to say rice. Okay, if you want to specify one, you have to say one grain of rice. But generally, rice is uncountable. So we say much rice or little rice when we're talking about this. I don't have much time. Not many time. No, I don't have much time. I have little time. Okay. Many and few we use for countable nouns. There are many more countable nouns than uncountable nouns. Cup, computer, phone. Okay, these are things that you can count. One phone, two phones, three phones, one bottle, two bottles, three bottles. Okay? People, also, and this is a really common mistake, people is countable in English. I know some languages it is uncountable, but in English, the word person is countable and the plural is people. One person, two people, three people, millions of people. So we say there are few people here, or there are many people here. Okay, as I said, there are many more quantifiers. A lot of is a great expression because we can use it for both countable or uncountable. So if you are unsure whether something is countable or uncountable, just say a lot of. It's a perfect solution. A lot of water, a lot of rice, a lot of bottles, a lot of people. Fantastic. Okay, some refers to just a quite a small quantity, but enough. And enough, yeah, sufficient amount. And plenty refers to more than enough. Okay, so not loads, not a lot, not a small amount, but enough, and actually a little bit more than enough. Plenty. We have 20 people. 20 people are coming to the party. We have 30 plates. We have plenty of plates. Okay, your turn, right? Like on Monday, I'm going to explain the grammar and then give you some questions, 2 questions to answer. And I want you to answer in the chat box. Okay, let me try something new here. And here is your first question. All right. There isn't milk left. Okay. That's the new thing. Yeah. I'm not sure if your comments will appear. Write a comment. It might appear there. There isn't milk left. What's the correct answer? A lot, much, or many? Write your answers in the chat. Okay, it works. Cool. Mohammed says much. Write your answers while I have a sip of tea. Cool. I like this. I wonder how high it's gonna go. Keep your comments coming. I'm not sure if it's gonna stop there or up there. Okay, much. Patrick, much. Batos, much. Jean, much. Shuri, much. Okay. Ibrahim Sissoko, much and a lot, says Dirta. Much. Okay, the vast majority are saying much, with one person saying much and a lot. All right. The correct answer, it can't be many. Nobody has said many because it's not countable. Milk, you can't say 1 milk, 2 milks, 3 milks. Milk is uncountable. A lot, as I said, a lot is a great expression, but the expression is a lot of. 3 words, a lot of milk, a lot of people, a lot of days, a lot of time. But you need the word of, a lot of. And of course, the correct answer here is much. Okay, there isn't much milk left. Karl Heinz said any. There isn't any milk left. If we say this, we're talking about 0 quantity. There isn't any milk left. In other words, there is no milk left. That's correct grammatically, but in this situation here, we're talking about just a small quantity. There isn't much milk left. Okay, very good. Your next question is this. thumbs up or thumbs down? Is this correct? Put your thumb up emoji, or if you can't, then just write the word yes. Thumbs down emoji, or just write the word no if you think this is incorrect, if you think it's wrong. All right, Anna. Anna is not convinced. Mohammed, no, not convinced either. All right, Patrick says, yep, this is good. Karl-Heinz says no. Bato says it should be much. How much money do you need? So does 1953. And Maria. Okay, we seem the majority of people think that this is wrong. And of course, it's wrong. Okay. Thumbs down. How much money do you need? Because money is not countable. A student inside my membership mentioned the other day that you count your money. You count it. Yeah. Look how much money I've got. Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. You count your money. True. But the word money is not countable. Okay. You can't say one money, two monies, three monies. So the word countable is incorrect. So we need much. Okay. Great. Let's move on to the next one. Before I do, by the way, you probably saw that on screen there. This is my Brilliant B2 course. That's where I'm getting this grammar from, which I showed you a bit earlier. And today is the last day of this special offer. So if you join before tonight at midnight, so you have 13 hours left, you will get a 50% discount. You'll also, this is so hard, okay, you have 50% discount. You also, if you join today, you get the B2 study planner. This is really useful because the Brilliant B2 course is a 12-week course. There are 12 modules. That's what I'm discussing in this lesson, the grammar, briefly, the brief version of the grammar from this course. Vocabulary, pronunciation, listening, and it's an intensive 12-week course. If you want to go slower and take 24 weeks or 36 weeks, it's possible. You get lifetime access to the course, and that B2 study planner will just help you plan your time so that you can stay consistent and not feel like overwhelmed with the course. You can do it in the time that you want, and that study planner will help you stay consistent. You'll also get the expansion pack, which is great. In each module, I've shown you some material from each module, but with the expansion pack, you also get reading comprehension, dictation exercises to practice your listening and pronunciation, speaking prompts, and writing questions. So it really helps you expand every aspect of your English. Teacher support is normally extra, but this comes included if you join today, and it's extended. Normally it's 6 months. I'm extending it to 1 year if you join today. So you'll have a teacher that you can ask your questions to at every lesson of the course. If you have a question, just ask your teacher and me or my team will reply. And you also get 1 month of speaking. It's free. All these bonuses are free, but you get 1 month unlimited speaking practice with my clone, my AI clone on the Teacher AI app. That's like where you can practice your conversation with me. It's my voice, and I will correct you, or my clone will correct you and have a conversation with you on all these topics from Brilliant B2 to help you practice your speaking. Okay, there you go. If you're interested, today is the day to join, because at midnight, all these things disappear and the price returns to its normal price. Okay, let's have a look inside and let's see what the next topic of grammar is from module 9, comparatives and intensifiers. Okay, comparatives and intensifiers. So yeah, words like, look at this. Okay, that's the basic things which you probably know. Big, bigger, fast, faster. It's a nice picture. Okay, but well, I'm going to show you some examples which help you realize that it's actually a lot more, what's the words? Interesting than just big, bigger. Okay, I mean the basic rule with comparatives is that when you have a short word, 1 syllable, 1 syllable or 2 syllables if the last sound of that word ends e, like easy, lazy, okay, or 1 syllable like big, tall. In those situations, we just add the sound okay, we write the letter ER, but the sound is big, bigger, tall, taller, easy, easier, than, okay, than, not that, than. So taller, for example, I am taller than my brother. If the adjective has 2 syllables, not ending E, but 2 syllables, like complex, or more, like expensive, interesting, then we have to use more. Okay, so more expensive. iPhone is more expensive than whatever, Samsung Galaxy, maybe, I don't know. Okay, more expensive. That's more or less. Okay, less interesting. We also look at, in the course, it's not just comparatives, but I mentioned here comparatives and intensifiers. Now, an intensifier is similar, but it helps intensify the adjective. And we do this with little, very, very powerful words like this, like much. Okay, so instead of more expensive, much more expensive. So you could say an iPhone is much more expensive than a pack of tissues. All right, a bit. Okay, so a cup of coffee in that cafe is a bit more expensive than a cup of coffee in that cafe. That cafe, it's €2. That cafe, it's €1.80. It's insignificant. It's a bit. And we have slightly, yeah, slightly more expensive. I am slightly taller than my brother. Okay, so not like, whoa, but no, this slightly, a little bit, slightly taller than my brother. And then we have way. Way is a really informal, very, very common way to intensify these comparatives. Okay, so for example, we went to Portugal last year and the year before. Last year, we went to a 5-star hotel. The year before, we went to a 1-star hotel. The 5-star hotel was way better than the 1-star hotel. And it was way more expensive. Okay, it was far better. This means the same, but it's more formal. And a lot. Okay, a lot. As we mentioned with the quantifiers, a lot of people, a lot of money, a lot of things. A lot without of will intensify an adjective, a comparative, not an adjective, a comparative. So a lot big, no. A lot bigger, yes. That building is a lot bigger than that building. It's a lot cheaper, a lot more expensive, etc. Okay, a really versatile word. All right, your turn. Let's try with this one. This is cheeky, okay? I want your opinion on this sentence. Is this correct? Is this correct? This film was very amazing. Is this correct? So as before, put your thumbs up or thumbs down, or say yes or no, incorrect, or correct. Put your answers in the comments. Oh, Dota has already joined. Brilliant, B2. Fantastic. Thanks for joining, Dota. You're going to love it. Has anybody else here joined Brilliant B2 already? Let me know if you have. The film was very amazing. I didn't put the chat thing there. Okay, is it correct? Let me read some things. Okay, no. M&P, no. Jury, yes. Bartos, no. Patrick, yes. Ivanka, no. John says no, but is not sure. If you think it's incorrect, why? Why is it incorrect? And what should it be instead? If you're feeling brave, tell me what you think it should be. Okay, Mohammed says the film was amazing, not very amazing. Sahil says it should be the film has been amazing, so the wrong tense. No, the tense is okay. The tense is good. The film was amazing. Ibrahim says instead of very, so. The film was so amazing. Okay. And 1953 says it's correct. All right. Patricia, grammatically it's correct. And Anna says, I don't know. I want to replace very with something, with really or so. Yeah. That is the problem. Okay. The problem is the word very. and I talk about this in the course. Okay, we have the word very. The word very is an intensifier. Okay, it intensifies an adjective like amazing. But we have some adjectives which are called emphatic. They're emphatic adjectives. Okay, so like amazing really means good. Yeah, but not just good. Good, very good, amazing. Like I'm hungry, I'm very hungry, I'm starving, I'm cold, I'm very cold, I'm freezing. Okay, all these ones up here are emphatic adjectives. Okay, I'm hungry, I'm very hungry, I'm starving. So when we have these emphatic adjectives, we don't say very. It sounds really, really strange. It sounds like film was very, our mind is here, and then very amazing. It's just like strange, okay? Because like amazing means very, very good. So if you say very, it's like you're saying very, 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 it's unnecessary. What we do instead is we have to say, yeah, like Box said, amazing is enough. Okay, you can just say amazing, yeah, but if you want to intensify amazing, then you have to say a couple of different words. You can say absolutely, which again is quite an emphatic word. Okay, so absolutely amazing. Okay, you can't say very. There are a few more words like absolutely. I'm trying to think of them. Absolutely amazing, unbelievably. Okay, so already they put your expectations high. Absolutely, and my expectation is like, whoa, which word? Which word are you going to use? And it's a word up here. Absolutely amazing. So we have to use one of those words. And similarly, what do you think of this? Question number 2. What do you think of this? Is this correct? Thumbs up. Or incorrect? Thumbs down. Or yes or no. Let me know in the comments. And if you think it's okay, just say yeah. If you think it's not okay, tell me what you think would be better. And while you're doing that, Paula saved me incredibly. That's the word I was thinking. Okay. So absolutely fantastic or incredibly. No, incredibly fantastic. No, incredibly good, we say. Yeah. So absolutely fantastic. Okay, where's my next question? It's here. Absolutely good. The match was absolutely good. Oh, I've forgotten to do this again. Okay, mind-blowing. Great expression. Mind-blowing. Yeah, great one. Yeah, absolutely good is not correct, says Olga. Absolutely plus good don't get along. Mohammed says absolutely good, but absolutely fantastic. Utterly is a good word. Yeah. Utterly fantastic. That's another emphatic word. Utterly brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, similar thing. Cracking. That's a good. That's a good adjective too. Cracking. means very, very, very good. Cracking. Absolutely awesome, says Olga. Okay, so yeah, we have, you've got it. Okay, so absolutely good is, again, it's so strange because, as I said before, the word absolutely takes your expectations up here. And then we need an emphatic adjective. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely freezing, starving, boiling. Okay? But if you say absolutely good, it's such an anti-climax. Okay? Your expectations are up here, and then good is just like boom. So it sounds really, really strange. Yeah, as Anna said, it sounds strange. It really does. Okay. All right. So yeah, that is incorrect. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at the next bit of grammar here. There's the grammar from. Oh, there's the expansion pack that I was talking about here. Yeah, reading comprehension, writing questions, listening, where you listen to a short sentence and write the dictation, and it automatically corrects you. And speaking questions that you can use in with my clone. That's everything in the expansion pack. You also get a review module in the course. Every 3 modules, you have a review so that you remember everything that you learned in the previous 3 modules. And here, the grammar from module 10 is the third conditional. Okay. Third conditional. As I said, if plus subject plus had participle. Okay. There you go. That is what we're going to do now. Let's put it there. Third conditional. Okay. As I mentioned before, this is the last day that this offer is available. If you want full access and lifetime access to the brilliant B2 course with all in-depth versions of all this grammar and pronunciation that will help you actually speak much more clearly and understand native speakers much more easily, and also vocabulary that will really help you express yourself more accurately in English about all the common topics that we need to talk about in everyday English. That is a complete course that will help you reach that level, which is a level, the B2 level. It's a level at many, many universities, jobs. They ask for that level of English in so many different countries. So many students have told me they need the B2 level to get this job, to access this university. It's a fantastic level to have. Okay, but yeah, discount and bonuses disappear at midnight tonight. All right, third conditional is this structure. If plus the past perfect, that is I had been, I had eaten, I had walked. That's one part. And that, well, with all conditionals, it's a great idea just to, in your mind, split it. It's 2 parts of the sentence. One is the condition. Okay, that's this part here. If had eaten. Okay, so this explains like a hypothetical situation. Ignore that for a second. All right, the second part is the result. Okay, the result, if that part of the sentence is true. Okay, and this part of the sentence is would have and the past participle. So would have spoken, would have taken, would have gone, would have been, would have whatever, would have attended. Okay, it's so important to just divide those two parts, because then you can just, it's possible to switch parts of the sentence. Here's one example. If I'd, using the contraction I'd studied instead of I had studied, when we're speaking naturally, I'd is what we do. So that's a condition, okay? The reality is I didn't study hard. But if, hypothetically, if I had studied harder, all right, what's the result? If that part is true, the result is I would have passed. Okay, would have, again, would have is the contraction of would have. Would have. I would have passed. The reality is I didn't study hard and I didn't pass. But if, hypothetically, in the past, okay, an imaginary situation from the past that didn't happen, if I had studied harder, what was the result in the past? I would have passed. Okay, so we use it for regrets. Like, oh, I didn't study hard and I regret that. When we talk about regrets, when we talk about alternative courses of action from the past, this is the structure that we need. And it's really, really useful. Really, really useful. Okay. And it's a structure that a lot of students that I know struggle with. Okay. But I think the best thing to do is to use the contractions I'd and would have. Okay. If I'd, and then you're just focusing on the verb. Studied, past. Studied, past. If I'd, I would have. If I'd, I would have. If I'd eaten that, I would have been sick. If I'd gone there, I would have been happy. If I'd met you earlier, I would have known the truth. Okay? So just practice that. And when you do, you'll stop thinking about the grammar and just say things more naturally. Okay, your question is this. All right, so yesterday, I forgot my keys. I was locked out. Okay, in other words, I could not enter my house because I didn't have the key. Create a sentence, write a sentence with the third conditional, okay, with this structure. If I blah, 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 blah. And your answers will appear here. And while you do, I'm going to have a drink. Of cold tea. There's nothing worse than cold tea. Okay, wow. Don't be shy. Yeah, I forgot my keys. I was like that. If I, you know what? Do you want an extra? I'll give you an extra word. If I, there you go. If I hadn't, okay. So Jean said, if I hadn't forgotten. Okay, that's a good start. It's a good start. Okay, well, nobody has put the correct answer yet. So keep trying. Okay. Mohammed said if I'd gotten my keys, I would have locked out. Patricia, if I hadn't been so unfocused, I wouldn't have forgotten my keys. Great. That is grammatically perfect. If I had not forgotten my keys, I wouldn't have been locked out. Almost, but no. If I hadn't forgotten my keys, I wouldn't. Yeah, you're on the right lines, but not quite finished the sentence. Yolanta, if I have forgot my keys, I would have not locked out. Not quite. I'd forgot my keys. This is really interesting. If I hadn't forgot my keys, it wouldn't have been okay. Just one. Locked. I'm just going to correct one thing here because it's incredible how phrasal verbs are frustrating at times. I wouldn't have been locked up means if you are locked up, it means you are in prison. Okay, you're in prison. You're in jail. If you're locked out, it means you can't enter your house. Very, very important difference. Okay, I think I need to do a... Yeah, there are a few common... there are a few common mistakes here that I'm seeing. And I think it's mainly happening because this grammar actually combines the third conditional with the passive. And I think that's where a lot of people in the comments are having difficulties. Because the first part of the sentence is correct. Okay, a lot of people have got this correct. If I hadn't forgotten my keys, yeah, or if I had not forgotten my keys, that's also right. If I hadn't not forgotten my keys, yeah, great. And the second part of the sentence is the passive. I was locked out. So we need, the second part of the third conditional structure, which is would have plus the past participle. But because it's the passive, the past participle is been, and then we need the main verb locked out. Okay, so some people have got this. Let's put here, it's from Yolanta. If I hadn't forgotten my keys, here we go. Here we go. This one's perfect. If I had not forgotten my keys, I would not have been locked out. Okay. If we just use, like, I was outside, I didn't have my key, and it was cold, and I was sad, and I cried. Okay. In that situation, we're not using the passive. Okay. So in that situation, we could simply say, if I had not forgotten my keys, I would not have cried. Okay. Simpler because we're not using the passive. I have another one. And it doesn't use the passive. So try this. I ate a bad egg. That happened in the past. I was sick. That happened. Hypothetically, if I Okay, so if I put your answers there. So, okay, so no bad egg and no sick. Let's imagine that hypothetical situation. Let's imagine what I wanted to happen in the past. My perfect alternative past situation. Okay, with no egg and no vomit. If I okay, let me just help you here, because the verb, the let's say the formal word is to vomit, right? But the more informal word that we always use is to be sick. Okay, be sick. So the verb that we want here is the verb be. And I'm saying that I'm just saying that because I saw a few incorrect versions here which didn't use the verb be. Okay, so I think a lot of people are getting this. Yeah. Patricia, if I hadn't had a bad egg, I wouldn't have been sick. If I hadn't eaten a bad egg, I wouldn't have been sick. If I hadn't eaten a bad egg, I wouldn't have fallen sick. If you fall ill or fall sick, it refers to an illness. Normally, quite serious illness. I mean, not like a cold, yeah. But it refers to an illness when you fall sick. If you are sick, you vomit. Normally. Okay, again, become sick refers to an illness, not blah. All right, cool. More. Sorry, wrong one. If I had not eaten a bad egg, I would not. So I would have not sick. No, I would not. If I hadn't eaten the egg, I wouldn't be sick. Now I wouldn't be sick as now, but we want it in the past. I wouldn't have been sick. Okay, if I hadn't eaten a bad egg, I wouldn't have puked. Puked. Very informal word for be sick. Okay, one more. If I hadn't eaten an egg or the bad egg, I wouldn't have been sick. Yeah. Cool. And this one actually is great because you're using the contractions. I really recommend that you use the contractions all the time. Because it's much easier. Like this, for example, Yolanta, if I had not eaten a bad egg, I would not have been sick. When I read this, it's actually more complicated for me to read this because it's so unnatural for a native speaker to go bop, 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 bop. If I had not eaten a egg, I would not have been sick. If I hadn't eaten a bad egg, I wouldn't have been sick. And that's what I was talking about earlier too. If you just think wouldn't have, if you just learn the groups of words together, like would not have, I wouldn't have, you wouldn't have, he wouldn't have, they wouldn't have. Learn that as one word, and then you only need to worry about and focus on the past participle. And, little by little, that will become so natural and sound great. And another problem with doing this is that, as I said, no native speaker talks like this. So when you're having a conversation, and this is the only version when you're having a conversation with a native speaker and they say, if I hadn't have eaten the egg, I wouldn't have been sick. That's totally different to what is in your mind. And it's very easy for you to get lost in the conversation. I think in Brilliant B2, in the pronunciation section of this module, I think that's what I deal with, actually. Yeah, I'm just checking here. I talk about that a lot in the pronunciation section of this module, chunking, putting words together so that you can speak in chunks, okay, in groups of words, rather than individual words. It's much better because then you are less likely to make a mistake. All right. Cool. That was, what was that? Yolanta, I'm trying to, oh, there we go. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the next module. Yeah, this is the pronunciation one from that section, from that module. Yeah, there you go. I talk about the pronunciation, how actually native speakers actually pronounce all these contractions, because there are many, many different ways that we do that in English. And by the way, the vocabulary story from the course always uses the vocabulary and the grammar and the pronunciation from each module. We watch a video and then you have a video from me then actually explaining the pronunciation and the vocabulary from the story. Okay, the next topic is causatives. All right, causatives. So the causative structures that we're going to look at right now are these causatives with the past participle. Let's go. Okay, let me get rid of that a second. Back to me. And causatives. Boom. This is the structure. Have something done. Okay. And it doesn't have to be done. Any verb. Okay. So basically have or get. Then the object that is receiving the action, and then the past participle. So let's use this example. Have plus the object plus the past participle. For example, I had, and the object, the thing is my house, and then the past participle, cleaned. And this means that somebody else did the action. I didn't. All right, that's when we use this structure. We use this structure when you ask somebody else to do the action for you. Because two reasons. One, you don't know how. Like I go to the mechanic because I don't know anything about cars. So I have my car fixed, or I have my car repaired. So you can't do it yourself, or you don't want to. Okay, so a lot of people have their house cleaned because they don't want to clean their house. So they pay somebody else to do that action. Mechanic repaired my brakes. Okay, we could say that. A mechanic repaired my brakes. But if we use the causative, I'm just explaining and expressing the fact that this action happened and I paid somebody else to do it for me. So this is not a causative, and I want you to write the sentence using this structure. I had my house cleaned for this sentence. Go. Okay, and Patricia says not easy, but I think it is. I think it is because the only thing you need to know here is, or the only thing you need to really focus on is the verb have. Is this action happening now? If the action is happening now, then I am having. Okay, we put the verb have in the present continuous. I am having my house cleaned. Happened yesterday. I had my house cleaned. Yeah, I'm going to have my house cleaned. I will have my house cleaned. We change the verb have, which is an easy verb. Then the object, my house, my car, my shoes, whatever. And then the past participle, cleaned, repaired, fixed. Okay. What was my question? Okay. Mechanic repaired my brakes. Oh, that reminds me. I'd need a mechanic to repair my brakes. True example. Okay. Let's have a look. All right, had my brakes repaired. Yeah, just be careful of the spelling of repaired. Also, yeah, brakes. This brakes like on your car or on your bike. That's a brake. A brake, like we pronounce both exactly the same, but a break like this is like a little a pause. Okay, hey, let's stop for 10 minutes and have a break. I had my brakes repaired. Yeah, oh, I got my brakes repaired. Also good. Yeah, got my brakes repaired by the mechanic. Exactly. You don't need to say by the mechanic, but if you want to give extra information, then that's correct. The preposition by my mechanic. And here's an interesting one too. I had my car's brakes done by a mechanic. Quite often, we use the verb done if the verb that we're talking about is completely obvious. So I had my brakes done. All right. It's kind of obvious, yeah? Repaired, replaced, removed, changed. Yeah, there are a few options. But if it's totally obvious, then you can say, you can use the verb do. Like you do the dishes. Yeah, you wash the dishes, but we often say do the dishes because it's obvious what we're talking about. I'll cook and you do the dishes. It's obvious. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to buy the dishes. Okay, good. I have my computer fixed. Yeah. Had my brakes repaired is the answer to the question. Okay, just one more thing. We talked about this a little bit on Monday, but the difference between have and get here, have something done or get something done, it's a small difference, but it exists. Okay, and it just depends where you want to put the focus of the sentence. If the focus is on the result, then we use have. Okay, like I had my car, I had my brakes fixed, I had my car fixed. My focus on that sentence is the fact that now my car brakes are perfect. But if I say I got my brakes repaired, or I got my, what was it? Okay, I got my brakes repaired. I got, with the verb get, I got my brakes repaired. Then the focus of the sentence is more on the action of me going to the mechanic and saying, hey, can you fix these, please? Okay, both really mean the same thing. The result is the same, but it just depends where you want to put the emphasis in your sentence. The result or on the action. Okay, so if you want to really speak with a very, very expressive, advanced level of English, that's an important difference to make. If you just want to communicate and just say the basics, then have is fine. One more. A company fixed my roof. We don't care which company, but I didn't do it. I paid a company to do it. The roof on my house. So how can we say this using the causative structure? Okay. So on Monday, we looked at the passive, which is quite similar to this. Quite similar. And while you are putting your answers there, I'll just explain the difference because this is the we don't. So in this situation here, we want the passive. Passive is this. Put the object first. My wallet was, okay, the verb to be, and then the past participle. My wallet was stolen. That's what you want to say here. Okay, a thief stole my wallet. My wallet was stolen. But with this structure, what we're talking about now, I have, and then the thing, and then the past participle, like I have, or I had my wallet stolen. You don't want that. You don't want that structure here, because when we use this structure, you're paying somebody to do a job for you. Somebody is doing a job. You normally pay them, or maybe they do it as a favor, but they're doing it for you because you don't want to do it. So in the example of stealing your wallet, it's not logical. Hey, can you steal my wallet for me, please? I'll give you some money. No. My wallet was stolen. Okay, so that's the difference between the passive and this, the causative. Okay. I had my roof replaced by a company. Yeah. And in this situation, we don't really need to say by a company. Okay. There. Brackets. It's not even necessary. I had my roof fixed. I got my roof fixed. Perfect. Okay. Cool. All right. We have one left. One left. Let me just bring your attention one more time to the Brilliant B2 offer, which will expire tonight. Tonight is the last moment you can join this course. Then I'm going to close it until September. The discount and the bonuses might never come back. Okay, and the price of this course will definitely increase later this year. So if you want to join and really learn all of this grammar in depth, with in-depth videos and exercises and stories that use all the B2 grammar pronunciation so that you can speak clearly, understand native speakers more easily, and actually speak confidently with a good level of English that most jobs and universities require, the B2 level, then this course has everything. It's a really, really complete course. You get access forever, and you can start immediately. It's a 12-week course, 12 modules, and that B2 planner will help you plan your time. So if you want to go more slowly and take your time, you can. You can join now and start after the summer. You can start when you want, because you also have a 90-day money back guarantee. Okay, that's 12 weeks. You can try it, you can do it. If you don't like it, if you think this isn't for me, if you think the level's too high, the level's too low, just tell me and you will get a full refund. Okay, you also get teacher support, so we will be there to help you with any questions you have. And you get 1 month speaking practice with the clone version of me, where you can have conversations unlimited for 1 month to practice your spoken English. You get all of that free and the discount, and it really is a brilliant course, which is why it's called Brilliant B2. Okay, let's have a look inside it one more time to see what the next module 12. And module 12, we talk about the journey to freelance freedom. Okay, so it's the story is all about work and working for people, working freelance, or the modern way of working on sites like, well, entrepreneurial sites where you sell a service. It's a really interesting story. And the grammar we use there is the future perfect tenses. Okay, future perfect tenses. Let's go back here. Future perfect and future perfect continuous. Okay, right. The future is easy. Okay, with will. I play, I will play. I have, I will have. Easy. We've already talked about the past participle, like eaten, spoken, taken. Well, the future perfect is that will have plus the past participle. To form it, it's super easy. And it looks like this. By Friday, I will have finished the report. Okay, and with the contraction, I'll have finished the report. We use this when here. Okay, so sorry, here. Where? Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to work out my which way my finger needs to move. Okay, so to the past. Okay, so this is the past. This is a moment in the past. We use this tense when we're talking about a specific point in the past, like Friday in this situation. So Friday, before Friday, by Friday or before Friday, I will have finished the report. So we're talking about an action. Finish the report is the action. So an action that will be completed before a specific point in the future. Friday. Okay, so this is now, this is Friday, and at some point, maybe here, maybe here, maybe here, the report will be finished. So that's when we use this situation. That's the future perfect. And the future perfect continuous is very similar. Okay. Again, we need a specific moment in the future. Like this. 6 o'clock. Okay, so by 6 o'clock, specific moment in the future, she will have been working. Okay, that's the structure. Will have, and then the word been, and then the ing. Will have been working, will have been eating, will have been taking, will have been teaching, will have been walking. Okay, so by 6 o'clock, she will have been working. Okay, it's a continuous action, working. So she will have been working for 10 hours. So we're describing the quantity of time that a continuous action happens before a specific point in the future. Okay, in this case, it's 10 hours of continuous action up until that moment in the future. 6 o'clock. And we usually use it with words like by, okay, by or at, or this time next week, or in January. Okay. Your turn. Try this. Okay. A plan. Imagine you buy Brilliant B2 today. It will be a fantastic decision. And then in August, you can say this. Oh, no, now you can say this. Now. I plan to finish the course before August. Okay, so you join now. You do it in you very, very quickly. Okay, June, July. Do it quickly. I plan to finish the course before August. So August is this moment in the future, and you want to say that the action will be completed before. So by August, what do you want to say here? Okay, let's have a look here. I will have. You can see them there, can't you? So by August, I'll have finished the course. I'll have finished the course by August. Yeah, data. Not exactly but it's very, very grammatically perfect sentence. Be sure to have joined the Brilliant B2 course before midnight tonight. Dirta is a member of the course. By August, I'll have finished the course. By August, I'll have finished the course. By August, I'll have the course finished. You could say that, yeah. Doesn't follow this structure exactly, but it's grammatically good. I'll have the course finished. Yeah. Again, that doesn't exactly follow this structure, but it is grammatically perfect. I'll have finished the course by August. Okay, great. So we're looking at August as the point in the future. Bam. And one action that be completed before then, yeah, finish the course. So I will have finished the course by August. And as a lot of people have done here, I'll have finished the course by August, or by August, I'll have finished my course. Split the sentence into two parts, the time in the future and the action. And you can completely change order. Fine, absolutely fine, no problem. Okay, very good. Let's try a continuous one. I'm going to change this because what time is it? Oh man, yeah. All right. When I planned this, I guess I didn't think I would be on for so long. There we go. I'm teaching now. I started at 10:30. At 12 o'clock, no, I am not midnight. I will not be here till midnight. At 12 o'clock, what? At 12 o'clock, you know what? To avoid confusion, we often just use the word noon as well. By noon, or at noon, I what? Okay, put your answers in the comments. Okay. One question here, can by August be switched to either the beginning or the end of a sentence? By August, I will have finished the course. I will have finished the course by August. They're fine. You can switch it. Absolutely no problem. With the continuous though, I am teaching now. We want the continuous here, and it's not really common to move it. We normally put the time first. Anna says at 12 o'clock, you'll have been teaching for an hour and a half. Ivona, I'll have been teaching for 2 hours by 12:30. Okay, both great. Both great. The only bad thing is I didn't expect to be here for 1 hour and a half. I thought today would be more brief than Monday. Never mind. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll be finishing my class by 12 o'clock. No, this is not correct. That is a different tense. I'll be finishing my class. And you want to use that at 12 o'clock, not by. By means before. At a specific time. We use I'll be finishing to express which continuous action will be happening at a specific point in the future. So at 12 o'clock, I'll be continuous action, teaching or just finishing. Okay, so imagine at 12 o'clock, I'm starting to say goodbye. We can say at 12 o'clock, I will be finishing my class. At noon, I'll have been teaching for 12 hours. Thankfully, not 12 hours. But grammatically, it's correct. And Dirta says at noon, I'll have been teaching for 90 minutes. And I'll be absolutely great quantifier for a very extreme word, meaning very, very, very tired. Okay. I will have been, okay? At noon, I'll have been teaching for 12 hours. Okay, so we need the verb been. I'll have been teaching for 12 hours because it's a continuous tense. And with any continuous tense, we need the verb to be plus the ing form. All right. Yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, I'm going to finish. So thank you, everybody who has joined and participated. It's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy these interactive lessons. It's as Dirta said, I will be absolutely exhausted. Yeah, no, doesn't really tire me. I really enjoy it. So yeah, thanks, but thanks to you. If nobody replied, it would be a terrible experience. So thank you for your participation. Let me remind you about this one more time. Okay, the link is in the description. I'm not sure about info. Did I write any info in the description? I'm not sure, but the link is there. You can go to the website and see all the info at the end. Sorry, all the info on the website. And yeah, I'm just reading some messages here. Yeah, so yeah, all the information is there. You will get the, I mean, it really is a fantastic course if you want a very strong level of English. I've been teaching for many, many years, and I am so proud of that course. That course is a really, really comprehensive course to master all the essential grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation skills that you need to have a really great, strong level of English so that you can actually communicate, express your feelings, your thoughts, be comfortable communicating with native speakers. Everything is designed to help you do that in the course, and you also get support from either me or my team, so you will always have answers to your questions. And I know you're going to love it. I really do. That's why I offer a 90-day money-back guarantee. You can try it. You can do the whole course. And at the end, you say, Greg, this was rubbish. Tell me. I'll give you your money back because I know that will not happen. Okay? You're going to love it. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope to see you inside Brilliant B2. And bye for now.